So this is just a quick rundown of how I make buying decisions when purchasing products for Amazon.com. First thing I look at is the sales rank, which is found down here under product details. If you have a scanning app, this is one of the things that are going to pop up in front of you. And essentially what this is a snapshot in time. It's an indication of a recent sale. And in all honesty, it doesn't tell you a whole lot. A lot of people will make a buying decision based off of this sales rank and that price, and that's kind of silly. I wouldn't stop there. This can be very, very misleading, and I'll give you some hypotheticals. Let's say a mega seller came along and they purchased 300 of these things and they blew them out at $8.99, and all 300 sold. They sold the last one yesterday, and the next guy in line is at $50. Now basically all those previous sales are going to give this product an amazing rank. It's probably going to be up there, at 244, maybe even better. And you come along and you scan this product, you're seeing an awesome rank, you see a great price, and you buy a bunch of them. But the reality is some guy just sold out at, $8 or $9, and that's why that rank is so good. The next one is at 50, it doesn't mean you're going to sell it at $50. And, you can make some really bad decisions just based off of rank and price. And if you go to the opposite end of the spectrum, let's say that all 54 of these sellers sell out. Let's say it happens tomorrow. It sells great at $50, but every single one blows out all their products, and nobody lists it again for another 30 days. So 30 days go by, and this rank jumps up to 500,000. So now you're at a retail outlet, you're at Target or Walmart, you're scanning a product that's in front of you for $10, and you have a rank of 500,000, and you pass by it just based off of that. But the reality is this sells very, very well at $50, and you just blew an opportunity by not digging a little bit deeper and figuring out more than just the current sales rank and the current market value. One site that I like to use that sort of gives us a history of sales rank and current market value is Camel. This is free. I have the extension installed on Chrome. I'll go ahead and put a link to that in the description below. And as I said before, it doesn't cost anything. And this is going to tell us a history of price. I like to look at the last quarter or the last month. They're giving us a whole year. I don't think that's necessary. So over the last 3 months, the lowest price is right around $34. It dropped here. This is probably a repricer war. It's anomaly. I wouldn't focus on that. 34 is right around where it's going to be. And I know at that price point in the past month, it's selling because the sales rank is spiking over and over and over again. Each one of these spikes is a drop in rank. And then, as I said before, a drop in rank is an indication of a recent sale. So every time you see this go up, it is an indication of recent sales activity. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And the thing is, every time you see a bump, it doesn't mean it sold once. I had a product that sold 25 or 30 a month, and when I looked at the Camel history for sales rank, there was 6 spikes, but it sold 25 times over the last 30 days. So it's not following it perfectly. It's giving you an idea. It's definitely helping you out a lot. But don't sit here and go, okay, I want to buy a month's worth of product, so I should buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I made the mistake of doing that. It's not accurate. It's just letting you know that it's selling, consistently throughout the month. And obviously for this particular product, it's selling very well. Another app that I use is Keepa. This is installed on Chrome as well. Another free service. I'm going to put that in the description below. And the reason I have this is because Camel, as I said before, doesn't pick up on everything. Sometimes this will be empty, and other times it'll only go back like 30 days. And Keepa will have a longer history of price. In this instance, it goes back 128 days. So, just looking at this, I can tell that this stays at great price point, and if I were to find it at $10, I would be very likely to purchase that just based off of this price. Another thing that this app is good for is if Amazon.com is selling the product as well, you can click on just Amazon and you'll see gaps in the price, and those gaps typically is when Amazon goes out of stock. So it'll kind of give you an indication of how often Amazon goes out of stock, and when they do go out of stock, how long it takes them to get back into stock again. And that can be very helpful when making buying decisions too. Another indication of recent sales is the product reviews. So we're going to click on reviews, we're going to click on see all reviews, and I don't really care about the most helpful reviews. I want to know the most recent reviews. So I'm going to click newest first. And today's date is October 12th. There's a review on the 9th. There's one on the 8th. There's another one on the 8th. There's a ton of recent reviews. So I know that this isn't something that sold back in 2013. And I know that it's selling often because most people don't leave reviews. The average person is not going to take the time to put their little stars in there and tell the world what they thought about the product. Most people purchase it and go on with their lives. I don't know the percentage of people that leave reviews. I could estimate maybe 1 in 50, maybe 1 in 100 people will leave a review. So for every one review you see, know that there's a ton of people that purchased this that didn't leave that review. So this is another great indication of recent sales activity at that price point that we just determined in Camel and Keepa as well. Another thing that I like to do if I'm still uncertain, let's say Camel doesn't have good information, let's say Keepa doesn't have good information, you're not sure, I will go over to eBay.com. And the reason I do that is if it is selling well there, then it is most likely going to be selling well on Amazon. So I'm just going to come here, we're going to put that in our search, and eBay does give us recent sales, and it does give us recent price points. It gives us a lot more than Amazon does, so this can definitely be helpful. What I'll do is I'll hit completed listings. So this is the total amount of people that tried to sell this over the last 30 days. There are 623 people that tried. Now, out of the people that tried to sell it, let's see how many sold. So we're around 600 tried, 450 actually sold. That's a very high percentage of sell-through. Now, I know this is a gallon jug, and if you go over here, they're not gallon jugs. It's not the point. I'm just looking at the product itself, not necessarily the quantity. And that in itself is an indication that people are looking for this product, they're actively seeking it, and they're purchasing it. And I can look at some decent little price points here, and that tells me that they sell on this platform as well. Another good indication that this is going to move on Amazon. And another thing too, when I go over to eBay to check completed listings, every once in a while I'll find an arbitrage opportunity where it's selling really low on eBay and high on Amazon, and I can capitalize on that. So that's another way you can determine if this thing is selling or not. Another thing to keep in mind too, let's say some guy came along and he's got them for $14.99. That's a horrible price point, right? And you're at Walmart or your Target, and you scan them, and they are $9.99 right in front of you. You scan it, you see they're currently for sale for $14.99, and you move on. Well, the thing is everybody below this guy is at $50 or $34, and you want to know basically how many this guy has in stock. So what you would do is, again, hypothetically, this says $14. So that's $14. The next one out is $50. What I would do is add that to my cart. I'd edit my cart, right? We're going to go to quantity and do 10 plus, and I'm just going to put in all 9s and hit update. And basically what that's going to do is tell me how many he has left in stock. So this guy's got 3 left in stock. So in that hypothetical that this person has it for sale at $14.99, I know that when 3 sell, the next in line is $50, and this is something that I would want to purchase. I mean, imagine being out there, scanning it, seeing $14.99, and moving on, and not taking the time to say how many is in stock, what does it sell for typically, and how quickly is this lowball seller going to get out of here. And you can do this with Amazon.com too. I've scanned things and saw that Amazon had the item in stock for a really low price, and I did exactly what I just showed you here, and I saw that they may only have 20 or 30 in stock, and it's selling like crazy. For that, I would purchase it, and down the line make money on it. So don't just look at current rank and current price. Look at the whole picture. Take all these clues in and make good buying decisions, and make lots of money because of it. I hope you found this helpful. I'm sorry I have not made videos recently. I will make it a point to put out more videos. Take the time to subscribe if you haven't already, please. Share this in Facebook groups if you think this is going to be helpful to other people. And I thank you, and I hope that you have a good day and make lots and lots of money.